Good afternoon, traders. It's Bill Baruch with Blue Line Futures, and it's your midday market minute. We have the S&P pulling back from major three-star resistance. Our 27.55, 27.56 level held strong. Today's high, 27.52. ISM non-manufacturing beat expectations, and so did JOLTS job openings. The dollar index had a little bit of momentum earlier in the session, but it's starting to give that back despite the stronger data. Now, this S&P is pulling back. We're about 10 points from the high right now. Let's call it, we're around 27.40. Now, yesterday we talked about buying the first test into 27.30. Now, listen, the first test can still be done, and you can still look to do that, but we're on the cautious side. We talked about it in the Morning Express today. In fact, we talked about buying cheap puts, so 27.25 puts that expired this Friday. This market feels a little overdone. The S&P's lagged the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ broke out. The NASDAQ Composite made a new all-time high. The NASDAQ 100 we traded within 1% of its high, but we're all starting to pull back just a bit. Trade talks are in the headlines. Italy was this morning, though it's a little bit of a clearer path here after some news this afternoon. We'll get to that in the FX rundown. But with trade talks, we're headed to the G7 summit, but as well trade talks with China. In the headlines, this market could really fall out 1% or 0.5% at any time. We like to buy that pullback, but we're not going to get in front of it until we see why it happens and when it happens. Until then, we like those 27.25 puts. We think they can come into play before the end of the week. Moving on to crude oil. A lot of exacerbation down to the bottom side this morning. A lot of support down to just below $64. Didn't quite get there. Yesterday on crude oil, we managed to close above the 100-day moving average at 64.70. That's good, and we're trying to regain 65. So if we can continue to close above that, that will be a nice tail today. But also some momentum into inventories. Don't get too excited yet, because this is more of a consolidation, somewhat of a dead cat bounce ahead of inventories, though this is exactly what we want to see. Look for $65.80, $66 if it can get there as being a ceiling until we see the EIA data tomorrow. So don't get too far ahead of yourselves with this trade. Lastly, with gold, we're seeing 1,300. Gold regained 1,300. It's been constructive. We talked about it yesterday in the Morning Express. Very constructive given the tremendous data from the U.S. on Friday, non-farm and ISM. And then today, ISM non-manufacturing and JOLTS beating. Gold still holding 1,300. This is tremendous bottoming action. Give us a call. We're here, 312-278-0500. Email us, info@bluelinefutures.com. Check our website for updates. And remember, futures trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Thank you.